and at 167 North State Street in Concord, New Hampshire. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to week number 7 of Yankee Championship Bowling in this particular series. And it looks like a good matchup. We are in our second round, and we have the number 2 seed, Tim Lipke, and he'll be meeting the number 12 seed, John Walor. And Jim Rivers, I look back at the first week of the program, and Gary Duffett came in as the top seed, and he's a very well-known bowler, and he was knocked off.
He was. John Walor pulled off the big upset. We'll get to John in just a moment. Tim Lipke is the number 2 seed, and by virtue of Duffett being knocked off, as you say, Don, Tim is the highest remaining seed. He's 28 years old, out of Derry with a couple of youngsters, works for New Hampshire Supply, a plumbing and heating outfit. And he has a 126 average, 192 high single, and a 438 triple. He was victorious, however, and in turning back Mike Calvetti of Nashua, the number 11 seed, in our second week, 360 to 352, in probably what has turned out to be the closest match we've had so far. In fact, the only close match we've had in this series so far. And his opponent tonight will be the youngster that you just alluded to, John Walor, the 18-year-old of the 12th seed who surprised everybody in beating Gary Duffett 367 to 354. And he is a student at Hesser College, has 129 average, 191 high single, and a 456 triple. So it is going to be the youngster, the sentimental favorite against Tim Lipke, who is the highest seed. So you come in as the 12th seed. What you got to do is knock off, upset a lot of people. And he's beat the number 1 seed. Now he's going to beat the number 2 seed.
Yeah, we've got Walor, who's from Exeter, and Lipke qualified in Concord, but he's from
Derry.
Yeah, I wouldn't classify him as an old vet either. Wow. He's 28, so
not as old as you, but
no, and not even as old as you.
No.
So, you know, he's a young man, so it should be a good matchup between 2 up-and-coming bowlers, that's for sure. So we're going to pause for these commercial messages, and we'll be back for that first string of action. But please, don't go away.
Walor put together strings of 145, 115, and 107 in beating Duffett. Lipke beat Calvetti with strings of 102, 129, and 129.
Spot. For Tim.
Talk about your delayed pin action. Any more?
And there it goes.
Exeter, the end of the Blue Hawks in Derry. End of the Astronauts, I guess. a great fill for Tim with a 6. Quilling the only mark of the evening so far. Next week it is Stevie Birch back with us against Al Harwood. Jim Lipke plays this spare leave. The 7-pin, the wood to the left. Goes to the right and doesn't quite collect it.
Nine-pin lead. First mark for John.
Need fill for the young man from Exeter. Would have liked to back them up, but just a little bit too far to the right. Settles for a 9 and a 61 through 6. Lipke working on a 9-pin lead, but facing a spare right here. Cleaned him out quick. Anybody else?
Goes fair. Then we've been doing the show jump for 3 years, and Lenny Murdowski just discovered you get 2 balls on a strike.
Yeah. He just discovered his strikers when you knocked them all down on the first ball. I thought you were going to say we've been 3 weeks and haven't made a math mistake yet.
Yeah, that's true.
Jinx us. Let's see, that's 32, right? 71 for John Walor. Lipke continues to win. He does not have to worry about Dan Murphy until the finals because he is the highest seed left. Walor, on the other hand, if he should move into the semis, he would be the one that will have to go against Murphy. A fate worse than death.
A little timeout here.
Lipke has put together a strike and a spare, and he's going to fill that spare right now. A little bit to the right. 4. 16-pin lead. He got them all. Tim is also we mentioned the last time he was on it, a disc jockey, part-time, weekends.
I remember that.
That both he and Cal Vitti.
Three disc jockeys talking to each other.
Sure.
Did kill 27 minutes that night.
And John Walor registers his second mark of the string. He was able to fill the last with an 8. See what he does here. Just to the left of the head pin for a 7. Not a great string for John, slightly below his average, well below his average of 129. He finishes with a 107.
Second strike.
Finishes with a 121, but that'll give Tim Lipke of Derry 14-pin lead going into our second string. On John Walor with a 107, Lipke with a 121. There it is on our scoreboard.
Well, I figured this was going to be a close matchup, and it certainly has the makings of it. Both very good bowlers. Don't make many mistakes. I think that's key. See very well. Other than that 6, the opening frame, that's pretty good bowling.
First time in a while we've had two strikes in one string by a bowler. It's been that way in a few weeks.
It's a good one. Okay, we're going to be back with our Lucky Roll segment, which is coming up in between the first and second and the second and third strings, and also more fine bowling. So if you hold on, you'll see our Grapponi Family of Fine Car commercial, and then we'll be right back.
On the road again for Yankee Championship Bowling in our Lucky Roll segment, and we are into the month of February, well into the month of February. Perhaps you can see the snow outside the Ford garage here. We're going to try and give away our third jackpot in as many weeks. Let me reach in here and pull out a name and see who we have. We have Concord. Tinny Drew, 69 Manchester Street in Concord. He lives at apartment 8, and Tinny, we have $34, as I recall, in the jackpot. So we're going to go to our Lucky Roll segment here and see what we have for you. All right, only 3. So what we need is a 3, but we have a safety valve for you, Tinny. As you know, Tinny is one of our big viewers in the Concord area, and you know that we have a minimum of $5 coming your way, Tinny. If I can spin you a 3, then we'll have $34 for you. All for watching Yankee Championship Bowling, and we're coming towards an exciting finish here in a few weeks with championship action. Danny Murphy will be joining the pack. Looking for a 3. Will it make it around again? Always wait till the wheel stops. All right, must be the uneven grounds here in Bow. So we're going to add 7, so that will give us $41 next time around. And Tinny Drew, as I say, we have a check for you for $5 coming up from the Yankee Cable Network. Join us again here with more bowling action and more Lucky Roll coming up after our next string. Tim Lipke with, at least at this point, a comfortable 14-pin lead. Each the last couple of weeks, Don, the man leading in the first string has gradually added on in the second and walked away in the third. believe if Walor wins, he has to face Murphy in the next round.
Seventh spot for Tim. Ninth spot.
Yeah. The fan club from Exeter on hand.
Sure are.
Half responsible for that one. I think we're going to see a close one this week before it's over with.
He's picked up 10 pins.
Interesting spare lead with that Wood running interference there. Plays it nicely though.
Lipke rises to the occasion.
It is mark number 5 on the night for Tim. 2 strikes and 3 spares. Right on the head pit. .42 for Lipke now through 4. Like to see Walor and Birch, Stevie Birch, in a bowling match. It may only take 6 minutes.
You just have to bring Clarence Davis back to interview him.
Yeah, we'd have to get an update. I really hope the next time Clarence is on, he has better luck.
Yeah. Nice man.
I think he's still in the barn. It's been 2 weeks. for a 9, and that gives him a 69 through 6. Remember now, Lipke led by 14 coming in.
Nice pick.
And that appears that John is preventing Lipke from widening his lead. And we indicated in the last 2 weeks, the bowler trailing after one has not been able to do that.
Boy, that was a good try. He was just a couple of inches away from having a nice spear.
Lipke now leads by 15 overall. Leads by a single pin here. Or trails by, leads by a single pin. So he leads by 15 overall.
He's got that strike ball working. That's his third.
See if he can back it up with a spear. Looking for the 10 pin. Yep. Would have been a heck of a recovery. Salvage a 9 on this. That one looked good from the moment it left his hand. Leaves him with those 3 to the right, but not an impossible spear leave. Not a bad one at all. Almost identical to his first string total. A 122 to go. There's 121. So at 243 for Lipke.
And Walor's not getting a whole lot of help.
Managed to stay close for a while with that strike and spare. In 7 and 8, kind of open things up for him. Jack. It's a nice round of applause from the crowd, but I'm sure John not happy with that. He has a 105. No, there's 107, so it's a 212, as you can see on our scoreboard, a 243. So once again, for it seems like the fourth or fifth week in a row, we go into the third string with one bowler holding a pretty commanding lead. In this case, 243 to 212, 32 pins.
Yeah, but this one really isn't insurmountable. That's, you know, if John Walor gets hot and he looks to me like he might be a streak bowler, the type that, you know, he's throwing that ball pretty well, but not getting a whole lot of help. And if he starts getting some breaks, anything could happen. And Tim Lipke is just rolling right along very smoothly, and he hasn't had that moment where things didn't go well, so you never can tell. So that should be an interesting third string, and we've got an interesting Lucky Roll segment, which is coming up following these very important messages.
We are back at the Grapponi Fords, and Gary Cheney, one of the sales reps, is with us, and we're giving you the opportunity to see some of the faces that you'll see when you come in to talk with them about buying a Bronco, as we have here, or any one of the fine line of cars. And since we're in front of the Bronco, Gary, tell us a little bit about the one that is on the showroom right now.
This is a Bronco 2. Standard features on it, a V6 engine. Standard transmission would be a 4-speed. It has a split bench seat in the rear, and as you can see, the rear door lifts completely up. It's all one-piece construction plastic. It's not metal. It will not rust.
You see a lot of these around. Must be a popular model.
Very popular, very popular.
Listen, let's see if we can give away some of the Yankee Cable Network's money. Why don't you reach in there deep and see what we have. We haven't had a jackpot, I think, a couple of weeks. All right, we have Hayden Pollard of Concord Gardens, Building 16, Apartment 1, and again, we had Tinny Drew on recently. Hayden Pollard, I mean, these people are glued to the set to watch bowling, and then they're faithful viewers, so let's see if we can give them some money. Let's go to our pinfall and see what we have. Okay, jackpot is 41, and we need a 6. Gene, give it a good spin. For the Pollards, the Internal Revenue Service is going to be very interested in getting in touch with the Pollards if they watch this program at all. They've been so lucky. All right, we added 10 to our jackpot. We have a check coming your way to the Pollards at Concord Garden Apartments, Building 16, Apartment 1. Quickly, before we let you go, Gene, how long have you been selling here at Caponi's?
About a year now.
About a year. Is this your first experience in selling?
Yes, sir.
We had one of your salesmen on here that had sold fire engines before. You've never done anything like that?
Not quite, no.
Listen, thank you for taking time out. I hope you haven't missed any sales while you've been on.
No, sir. Thank you.
Good. Thank you. And we are going to be back on again, of course, with our Lucky Roll segment. Keep sending those cards in, as the Pollards did, to... They sent it to 15 Pleasant Street, and the post office still found us. We're now at 8 Commercial Street in Concord, and we'll be back on with more championship action here on the Yankee Cable Network from Boutwell's in Concord right after these good words from our sponsors.
Okay, we are back. We've got a 243 for Lipke and a 212 for Walor. And John Walor is up at lane number 21 here at Boutwell's Boulevard in Concord.
32-pin spread. Next week, Stevie Birch, Al Harwood. John bowling like a man possessed out there. He really can't wait to get that ball.
He reaches right in to get that ball before he gets up there. Youth.
Yes, I don't know.
You can't remember back 40 years.
I just know that I used to watch you on bowling shows when TVs were black and white.
Yeah. Well, I just remember when my mom used to say, Jim Rivers says there's no school today on the radio.
That's after you've been teaching for 20 years, though, Doc. get off to a real good start here. A couple of marks. Put it away quick.
Cleans them all up.
At 9 and a 10, and still managed to pick up a pin.
There's Mark. Fills it with a 7.
Lipke matches that mark by Walor in the third frame. So all he needs to do is match him pin for pin. We have now completed 4, and Walor has picked up a pin. Well, that looked good when it left.
Well, John's making it interesting anyway.
We've completed 5. Walor has picked up 10 pins. He now trails by 22.
There should be more too now that it looks difficult for Lipke to pick this pair up.
go, and Walor still very much in it. Trails by 15 overall now.
Oh, that was a major pickup.
Yep. That was a big mark. 3 in a row now for John.
On the head pin, and he did him. Oh. Boy, were those two key balls.
Well, you mentioned John being perhaps a streak bowler. I think he showed that right here. 4 marks in a row, 5 on 6.
This is a big mark here too for Tim Lipke. God. Each pin's important from here on in.
10-pin difference now through 7. Walor trailing by 10. Trailing by 22 here.
Just want to remember Walor working on a strike, so he gets 2 balls.
We're in a position we haven't been in about a month. A close one coming down to the final 3 boxes.
Just missed ahead.
And look at all that pin action down there.
He got it.
I've got it tied, dead even through 8 now. Unofficial.
Ooh. That 10-pin hurt him.
And through 8, he was leading by 32, trailing by 32 overall. So we got it even. That was tough.
All going to be up to Lipke. 146. How about you?
Yep.
Excellent finish. Excellent finish for John. 358.
All right, Lipke gets a 124, and we're tied. Correct that. 114, and we're tied.
In other words, he has to mark.
He needs a 115 or better to win. Unofficially. Going on our math, it's always unofficial.
Sure. Didn't get the mark that time. He wants to pick up this pin.
Yeah, 146, 32 pin difference going in. That brings it down to 114.
Ooh.
Oh, that hurt.
96.
He needs a mark and a 9 spot. A spare and a 9. 9 fill to win.
Ooh. He's got it.
All right, he needs 9 pins. He's got a 106 with 2 balls. He has to pick up 9 pins, and he's got 2 balls to do it to win.
Not out of the woods yet.
No, sir.
Well,
better.
He looks in a pretty good spot here.
We're tied right now.
He's got to get one of these.
Should, unless he trips.
Got it. What a finish. What a finish. Can you believe that finish? Well, we did say before that anything can happen, and we went in with John Walor with a 212, Tim Lipke with a 243, and we end up with Tim Lipke with a 359, John Walor with a 358. Can you imagine that? What a finish.
Outstanding match. Outstanding. And you got to give credit for Lipke. It looked like he had blown it. And he came back, and under pressure, needing a mark and a 9 is no easy feat. And he relieved a little bit of the pressure by getting the strike. And that gave him 2 balls to knock down 9. Yeah. And then knocking 8 down with 1 made it a little easier. And I'm sure he was happy to see those 2 pins bunched together and not split. But credit to John Walor for coming back, but don't forget Tim Lipke apparently had lost the match and then came back and won it again.
It goes to show you, though, how in candlepin bowling, each pin and each inch makes a difference.
I'm sure you look at that pin that he missed in the 9th frame with a 9 and was not able to sweep it out. That could have been the difference right there.
Okay, up on the screen, you're going to see the address for, if you want to send fan mail to these 2 bowlers, we'll get it to them. Also, if you'd like to be involved in that Lucky Row segment, drop us a card with your name, address, and telephone number to the address shown, which is Yankee Championship Bowling, 8 Commercial Street in Concord, zip code 03301. And the crowd is still buzzing. I tell you, it's been a while since we've had the crowd buzz like that. So we're going to let things calm down. We're going to pause for a few words, and then we'll be back to talk to our 2 bowlers. Okay, as we return, I'm still amazed at the people around here. They're still all aflutter over the win. It was quite a matchup. It's quite a while since we've seen a finish like that. Just to refresh your memory, if you're just joining us, what we've seen is John Walor and Tim Lipke display just about the best bowling you possibly could show in that 3rd string. Walor came into the 3rd string with a 212 and Lipke with a 243. And the finish was this way. Walor had a 146 in the 3rd string, and he was ahead, and Lipke had to come up in that last box with a mark and 8 pins, and he struck and then picked up 10 pins after that. So he ended up with a 116. So although he didn't have a great string pin-wise, he had enough to get himself over the hump, and he won with a 359 to a 358. So Lipke advances. John Walor certainly has made an impression on the people here at Botwell's Bowlamore, and you folks at home, if you've been following us, because he had a great match against Gary Duffett to win it originally, and now he comes out on the short side of one of the more exciting matches you'll see in a long time. So let's turn things down to Jim Rivers as he discusses the match with both of our bowlers.
Thank you, Don. You say the crowd is still buzzing. The bowlers are still buzzing about that match. 2 good friends that went head-to-head with each other. What did you think, John, when I know you came back and you put the pressure on him? He needed what he needed was a spare and a 9 fill. What were you thinking as he went up to fire that first one?
It was quite weird, but when he threw that strike, I figured he was going to throw another ball right in the pocket, which he did, and he had the broadside wood for the last 2.
All he needed was that 1 pin.
Well, I knew it was over when I saw that broadside wood. He's going to nail that every time, so.
Are you normally a streak bowler? You appear to be tonight, or at least on this show, the 2 appearances we've seen, you get hot and then you get cold.
Yeah, the first 2 strings, I just wasn't throwing it in there. I was really rushing the line and bouncing the ball, so it wasn't really going into the pocket like I wanted to.
Listen, good effort, and certainly a good performance for your first appearance on our show, and knocked off the #1 seed and took #2 right to the limit.
Right. Well, thank you.
We'll see you again.
Yeah, super, John.
Tell me, do disc jockeys file their nails? Is that how you can throw the ball the way there?
Before much time is over, I'm not going to have any nails left.
So it's from eating them, right? From chewing them.
Oh, you never want to let up on John, and I did. I started steering the ball in the first few boxes of that 3rd string, and
you don't like to do it the easy way, do you? Both matches you've had have gone down to the wire.
I wish they were easy, but I don't know. I always, with John and against the other opponent that I had, I knew that you can't let up. I knew they were going to be back, and it proved both times.
32 pins is not a great amount to carry into the 3rd string.
By no means. Not with a bowler like John is.
Tell me, how aware are bowlers of the scoreboard? Now, we knew right down to the pin that you needed a spare and a 9 fill. Are you that aware, knowing what you need to beat a guy or tie a guy?
Throughout the match, I usually don't even watch the other bowler. Not even the scores, until it comes down to the wire. Then I start watching, and I knew what I had to have, and I was so glad when that strike went.
And then the 2 pins were bunched right in the corner, nice and easy.
Oh, that was a blessing in disguise.
How about the rest of the matches? Now, you know, being the #2 seed, the highest seed, you don't have to worry about the Irishman until the finals, if you make it to the finals.
Well, so far so good. I know Stevie's bowling next, and he's a tough competitor, and next match is going to be very tough.
Get Birch and Harwood, and we've still got another one after that to go. Chardy is still alive, so a lot of good bowling left.
I know most of the guys, and it's going to be awfully tough.
And I'm sure you'll make it a good show for us. You'll keep it a nail-biter right down to the end.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Tim Lipke. Had a good one tonight. Let's look ahead to next week right now with Don LeBron. Don?
Thank you, Jim. And that certainly was a good one. And again, people just are ecstatic in here because that's one of the best finishes we've had in an awful long time. Well, when you come up with that strike at a crucial spot like that, that's something else. Next week has the makings of another good one. The number 3 seed, Steve Birch, will meet the number 8 seed, Al Harwood. Let me tell you what Al did. Al came in and defeated Clarence Davis with a 380 to a 324 a couple of weeks ago.